8 years after the last entry in the series, Red Dead Redemption 2 is finally here. The hype for this game is very real, and for good reason. Rockstar is known for their attention to detail, and this game is no different. The amount of detail littered throughout the game bugs me out, and there's honestly too much to cover in one video. So here's a quick look at 6 of my favorite things so far in Red Dead Redemption 2, straight from the hip. First, there's the hair and the grime that shows up on the lead character, Arthur Morgan. Sometimes I forget his hair grows, and the next day he's got a full beard. That's pretty wild to me. With each passing day, the length of Arthur's facial hair will grow along with the hair on his head. Neglecting my in-game hygiene, after a few days in the blistering sun and a couple of muddy bar fights later, I noticed how gross Arthur looked, and I started to feel self-conscious about it. So now a semi-regular visit to the local inn for a bath and a run to the general store for some hair pomade are essential to not looking too dusty. Now usually I don't butt into people's business, but in a video game I'm probably the nosiest person this side of the Mississippi.
Slow in the head, mister.
In Red Dead Redemption 2, you have the option to interact with pretty much anybody. Usually it's one of two options: greet or antagonize. One time I stumbled across some dudes arguing about something, and they agreed to a duel. So I looked on and the winner started boasting and challenging anybody else.
Who else wants some, huh?
So I figured, why not?
Sure, I'll shoot you.
Nothing like teaching somebody to sit down and be humble. So it turns out I gotta step up my quick draw game. Red Dead Redemption 2 recreates nature in eerily accurate detail, from picturesque sunsets to the way in which my horse straight up panicked as I threw us over the edge of a steep hill. I've even gotten knocked clean off of my horse by a low-hanging branch. And one time I was creeping up on a bounty who was wanted for multiple murders, hidden inside of a little cave, and I slipped and fell flat on my face.
There's a bounty hunter. Get him!
Early on in the game, you'll be spending time in snowstorms that remind me of why I hate winter so much. Knee-deep in snow with limited visibility sucks, and Rockstar nails how much it sucks, visually at least. Glad I can still play this in the comfort of my own home, until I actually have to leave for something that is not playing Red Dead Redemption 2. I noticed the snow buildup on my hat and jacket, but when I entered a house with a fire on in the heat, the snow started to slowly melt and leave my clothes wet. Once after some calming rain, the clouds cleared up and the sun's diffused light spilled through and reflected off the mud in a way that just made my jaw drop. You can almost smell it, even the horse poop. Rockstar games have always been pretty good at delivering exposition when traveling from point A to point B. Red Dead Redemption 2 deliberately slows its pace down a lot when traveling with companions. So there isn't a lot to distract me in the way of traffic, radio stations, or pesky phone calls. On top of pretty interesting dialogue between Arthur and other characters, the game also features small human moments that made me smile. Like the time I took a few people into town, and members of our camp sang some songs along the way, and one of them even flubbed the lyrics. For a second, I forgot it was a video game. You can even activate a cinematic camera and kick back and soak it all up like you're just watching an actual movie. I find myself enjoying the slower moments just as much as the enormous shootouts, and that's pretty cool. The world of Red Dead Redemption 2 feels alive, and wandering the main streets of a town can feel like something straight out of Westworld. I know the characters in the game aren't real, but they convey a sense of life in their movements and their behaviors. Each person in town has some sort of purpose and intent, whether it's to loiter outside of a bank or to sell newspapers to anybody walking by. Occasionally, I even stumbled upon a moment that felt voyeuristic to me, like I shouldn't even be there.
I love you, baby. Be good, son.
While celebrating one night, I caught 2 members of my camp dancing with one another. It's a bizarre feeling of life that Rockstar seems to get right, at least whenever the game behaves and people aren't standing on stools.
Everything okay? Huh?
Red Dead Redemption 2 is a gold mine full of small details like these that add up to create this experience. While not perfect, still shines through in the life that it breathed into its world. I barely scratched the surface in this video for the phenomenal acting, cinematography, elegant and minimal user interface, the score, and even the lovely crafted letters and photographs you find throughout the game. I really want to hear more about things that blew you away too. And I'm not just talking about being ambushed by rival gangs. And if you want to check out another Red Dead Redemption 2 video by the one and only Tim Rogers, go ahead and check this out.